Hello, team. How are you? How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Good day? Good Black Friday? I'm early by 2 minutes because I have some amuse bouche. Listen to this. I have traveled more extensively in 2024 than any year of my life. By my count, 14 states, some multiple times, Canada, and the UK. And I have had really good flying experiences, good defined as on time flights. Now the amuse bouche course, course. The amuse bouche, screw it. Here's the bonus. Now I know why. I just read this front page story in the Times today. I shouldn't be surprised by this. The airlines have expanded the travel time of their flights so as to give them cover to say it was an on-time arrival. I'll just give you 3 paragraphs of this. The average flight today from Kennedy Airport to Los Angeles is slower than it was in 1995 in every conceivable way. Planes face longer delays leaving the gate. They take more time taxiing before taking off. They spend more time in the air. But paradoxically, even with an average rise in travel time of 18 minutes, the percentage of flights on this route arriving after the scheduled arrival time has decreased. In 1995, arrivals were behind schedule 51% of the time. Today, it's just 37%. Why do today's flights arrive early more often, even though they're slower? Airlines have extended their scheduled flight durations even more than the flights have lengthened in actual duration. The average scheduled duration from JFK to Los Angeles has increased 23 minutes since 1995, according to an upshot analysis of the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. So they're scamming us again, just when we thought, oh, we're here on time. Isn't this wonderful? Ladies and gentlemen, this holiday weekend, why not check out Parks Casino, the Excite Center at Parks Casino. A lot of great entertainment coming your way. Pennsylvania's #1 casino, right in the Philly burbs, less than 2 hours from New York, close to northern and southern New Jersey, home of my storytelling cigar fest about a week ago, 10 days ago. It was a great night. The Excite Center, December 5th, comedian Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra annual holiday show. Joe's a funny guy, and the City Rhythm Orchestra really was my wedding band 3 decades ago. Comedian Jessica Kirson is coming. The reggae sounds of Shaggy. Actor Richard Kind from Curb. Love him. Love that show. Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains. Magician Michael Carbonaro. It's everything. Actors, magicians, singers, headliners, fun stuff. Country star Lee Brice is coming. You can enjoy dinner and drinks beforehand. Enjoy the Bamboo Noodle House, the Liberty Bell Gastro Pub, the Parks Grill Steakhouse, parkscasino.com for all your tickets. This is how you win. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yesterday at Smerconish.com on Black Friday, one of the closest poll results ever. Out of focus? Okay, I'll read it to you. Should college sports teams that feel disadvantaged by an opponent's inclusion of transgender athletes compete or forfeit matches in protest? 24,102. Good number for Black Friday. 50.15 to 49.85. The 50.15, if you're wondering, said compete. So that translated into 12,087 votes versus 12,015. Amazing, right? And now we know that Colorado State, having defeated San Diego State, Colorado State now advances to play today against San Jose State. This is in the Mountain West Conference. The winner receiving an automatic bid to the NCAA, their whole bracket. I don't know what madness they call it, volleyball madness. So 1:30 Mountain Time today is this match, which is 3:30, I guess, in the East. It's interesting because, of course, San Jose State has a trans female player, trans woman player, and 6 times teams have forfeited rather than compete against San Jose State. I have to say, I think this really brings to some culmination. The courts are going to have to resolve this, the handling of the whole trans athlete conundrum. You've heard me say before, I want to be inclusive, but not at the risk of fairness. And interesting on the fairness question, Sally Jenkins writing in the Washington Post, and Sally Jenkins taking the position that the volleyball saviors, she means the women who are saying we're going to forfeit and we're not going to play, that they are missing the point of sports. That's the gist of her column. But she notes this, that an in-depth ESPN look at the performance of the athlete in question here suggests that her power is exaggerated. The lawsuit contending that she can spike a ball at 80 miles per hour, but an ESPN camera calibration analysis found that was wholly unsupported. Using software to examine 5 of her spikes from different games, they clocked estimated speeds between 51 and 64. I bring this up only because in the swimming example, the Leah Thomas example from the University of Pennsylvania, Leah Thomas competing as a man was in the mid 500s in ranking, but as a female, having transitioned, was now among the most dominant swimmers in the country. So Sally Jenkins is saying that's not the case here in volleyball. But I have to say I'm sympathetic to the women who they got up and had their parents drive them to early Saturday practice, and they worked it, and they competed in high school, and they get to college or in this program, and they want to get to the NCAA tournament, and they're willing to forfeit and sacrifice that. Boise State took themselves out because they think that it's unsafe and unfair to the detriment of their careers. And I want to be sympathetic as well to the woman who's now playing for San Jose State. But if she's a dominant influence in the sport like Leah Thomas, then it's unfair. And then I say, sorry, we can't be inclusionary in this instance. It's a tough call. I get it. But yesterday I was seeking the nuance of, okay, what is the best approach though? If you're one of the women competing with the San Jose transgender female, is it better to just compete? Or is it better to forfeit and try and bring this to some type of a determination point? Colorado State, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, has twice defeated San Jose State. Might be wrong on that, but I think that they've already defeated San Jose State, so they feel like they're gonna win this match. We'll see. I've never been so interested in the Mountain West volleyball, female volleyball, championship as I am today. And I'll say this, imagine the immense pressure that it brings to bear. Imagine the immense pressure that it brings to bear on the competing San Jose female. How does she feel in all this? That can't be easy. I said the same thing about Leah Thomas when Leah Thomas was swimming at Penn. So that's yesterday's poll result. Thank you for all the voting on that. Today, I've wanted to get into this, and we're going to talk about whether Medicare and Medicaid ought to cover weight loss drugs. The Biden administration on its way out the door has said that they think this should take place. There are a lot of people impacted and a lot of money at stake. Here's the Washington Post coverage. The Biden administration proposed expanding coverage of weight loss medications for millions of Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries, a late-term proposal that officials said would boost public health and which puts pressure on incoming Trump administration officials to finalize the benefit. And here comes the issue. The issue is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., seeking to make America healthy again, has said that he thinks that when Americans, I'm paraphrasing, okay, so give me some slack on this, but you get the gist of it. When Americans have access to the weight loss drugs, it obfuscates, it takes our eye off the cause of the real problem, which is unhealthy eating, unhealthy lifestyles. So to Bobby's way of thinking, if you make it too easy for people to lose weight, they're still going to have underlying health issues, and America won't be where America needs to be. The proposal is a game changer. It helps us recognize that obesity is with us, says HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra. It's severe. It's damaging our country's health. It's damaging our economy. So what's the cost of this? The proposal would expand coverage of anti-obesity drugs to 7.5 million people enrolled in Medicare and Medicaid, which the agency projected would add $25 billion in Medicare costs, $11 billion in Medicaid costs, that's 36, plus states would have to assume $4 billion in additional costs as part of their share of the Medicaid program. So a total of $41 billion. Okay, I get it, but here's what I wonder. But what's the long-term savings? Because if the people who among us are diagnosed with obesity don't need to show that they have diabetes in order to get coverage, long term, are we actually maybe not saving money, but can it be a wash? Because later in life, they're not going to develop the heart complications, by way of one illustration, hypertension, as a result of that weight that they'll be carrying around. In other words, maybe in the long term, it actually saves us money or comes close and allows people to lead a longer and more productive life. The Trump administration is not required to finalize any or all of the proposal. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whom Trump has selected as the next HHS secretary, as I say, if confirmed by the Senate, is an avowed critic of weight loss drugs such as Ozempic, which he has blamed for obfuscating the root causes of poor health in America. And here's what Bobby says. They're counting on selling it to Americans because we're so stupid and so addicted to drugs. He's proposed his own agenda, which he calls Make America Healthy Again, that instead emphasizes healthy eating, improved fitness, and other federal-led efforts to fight obesity and other chronic diseases. Ozempic, by the way, costs about $1,000 a month. So that is the poll question today at Smerconish.com, where I am asking whether Medicare and Medicaid should cover weight loss drugs for individuals. I said it this way because this is the issue of the day. Should Medicare and Medicaid coverage cover individuals diagnosed with obesity? The next question becomes, if that's a yes, if that's an easy yes, then do we want to stop at obesity? I mean, we don't want to be paying for a weight loss drug for, I'll use Tom Wolfe's expression, the late, great Tom Wolfe, Bonfire of the Vanities, who's seeking to become a social X-ray. You know, for some vanity reason, is not obese by any stretch. We shouldn't be paying for his or her Ozempic. But should we draw that line at obesity? Is that where it needs to fall? I'm definitely on board in believing that. I mean, the number of new data just came out this week. In fact, let me just see if I have it, because it's pretty staggering. Bear with me one moment. Perfect subject to talk about after we all ate so much for Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, here we go. Recent study published in the Lancet Medical Journal estimated more than 200 million people in the U.S. were medically classified as overweight or obese. What are we? We're a country of 330 million. 2/3 are obese or overweight. I don't know what the breakout is in terms of, did I say how many were obese? Did I say it was 70 million? It's a hell of a lot of us. It's a hell of a lot of us. Yeah. So the question is, how do we make America healthy? Drug exists, which can help people lose weight. There are side effects. I want to make it available to the morbidly obese. If you've been diagnosed with obesity, I think you should have it. And I think it ought to be covered as part of Medicare or Medicaid, because longer term, I think it's going to keep you alive. And frankly, might reduce the costs in the long term so that we're not caring for you end of life. And you'll lead a longer life. Perfect poll question for the day after Black Friday, 2 days removed from Thanksgiving. So go vote at Smerconish.com on that. Thank you for all the voting yesterday. I was really impressed with the thin margin on the whole volleyball trans competition question. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to go get ready for CNN. And thank you for being dialed in. I'll read all the comments later, okay? Because I don't have time today, but I always take interest in what you're saying on these issues. like the videos, if you would, please. Like the videos, if you would. And thank you for being a part of what we do here live, talking about the poll questions. Well, pretty much every day but Sunday. Every day but Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll see you.